the FBI starts sniffing around, starts digging around, starts flipping through pages, looking into the WNBA.
We've all witnessed some questionable officiating this season, haven't we? The kind of calls that leave fans wondering how an obvious foul wasn't called. Now, an explanation has finally emerged. Officials have reportedly stepped forward and provided sworn testimony, claiming that the league influenced the way certain games were officiated. According to those claims, the instructions originated from Cathy Engelbert's office. And the player at the center of the controversy? Caitlin Clark. She's the league's biggest attraction, the rookie responsible for drawing record-breaking crowds and introducing millions of new fans to the WNBA. Yet despite her importance to the league, many believe she's the player absorbing the most physical punishment while receiving the least protection from officials. And the story doesn't end there. Following the recent gambling-related arrests connected to the NBA, Stephen A. Smith made his position clear. He stated that if the FBI is investigating the NBA, people shouldn't be surprised if the WNBA also comes under scrutiny. 3 veteran referees have reportedly come forward with sworn statements that could change the conversation surrounding WNBA officiating. What initially seemed like another league controversy quickly turned into something much more serious. According to the officials, their concerns weren't directed at players or coaches, but at the league's leadership. They described internal discussions that allegedly emphasized maintaining the appearance of competitive balance. Rather than focusing solely on fair officiating and player protection, they claimed that other priorities influenced certain decisions. One statement, in particular, has become the center of the debate. According to reports, one referee suggested that too much attention on a single player could negatively affect the league's image. Many people believe that comment was directed at Caitlin Clark. These weren't emotional reactions made after a difficult game. They were formal statements delivered under oath. Because of that, investigators are reportedly treating the allegations seriously. The WNBA now finds itself facing a challenge unlike anything it has experienced before. This goes beyond criticism or negative reactions from fans and has developed into a debate about the league's credibility. For years, the organization has focused on expanding its audience and increasing its popularity, with Caitlin Clark becoming one of the biggest factors behind that growth. That has led many people to ask an important question: why would the league want to limit the influence of its most recognizable star? According to the referee's statements, the motivation wasn't personal but strategic. However, when strategy begins to affect competition, critics argue that it crosses the line from leadership into interference. As the investigation continues, one phrase has become the center of attention: protect the league's image. Supporters argue that professional basketball has never grown through control or limitations. Instead, the sport has always evolved by allowing exceptional talent to flourish naturally.
Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. Yep. Don't be surprised.
Success in sports has never come from restricting greatness. It comes from recognizing it and allowing it to thrive. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, she immediately attracted attention without relying on major marketing campaigns or carefully crafted narratives. Her popularity changed the direction of the league and created a level of interest that couldn't be easily controlled. According to these allegations, officials attempted to manage that influence behind the scenes rather than addressing it publicly. Critics claim that this was reflected in officiating decisions that allowed more physical play and fewer foul calls. The argument is that limiting one player's impact doesn't just affect that athlete, it also raises questions about the league's credibility. Clark's arrival transformed the atmosphere surrounding the WNBA. Attendance increased, arenas began selling out, and ticket prices rose dramatically. At the same time, millions of new viewers started following women's basketball on a regular basis. Caitlin Clark quickly became one of the most exciting players in the league. Her energy, talent, and style of play attracted attention from basketball fans across the country. However, not everyone welcomed the sudden spotlight. Some veteran players felt that the conversation had shifted too quickly, while others struggled to adjust to the changing landscape. According to the referee's statements, league leadership was concerned about how rapidly the balance of attention had changed. Clark didn't follow the traditional path to stardom. Instead, she became a major attraction almost immediately. The allegations suggest that, rather than embracing that momentum, league officials attempted to slow it down. Throughout the controversy, Clark rarely responded publicly. She continued to focus on improving, competing, and supporting her teammates. Many fans have also questioned the level of physical contact she has faced during games. While physical play has always been part of basketball, critics argue that some of the contact directed at Clark appeared to go beyond normal defensive intensity. What began as criticism has now turned into a much deeper debate about the league's credibility. The WNBA has spent years expanding its audience and strengthening its position, with Caitlin Clark becoming one of the biggest reasons for that growth. That raises an important question. Why would the league want to slow down the player bringing in so much attention? According to the referee's statements, the motivation wasn't personal but strategic. However, critics argue that influencing competition in the name of strategy crosses the line into interference. One phrase continues to dominate the discussion: protect the league's image. Supporters of the league believe that competitive balance should develop naturally through coaching, player development, and team building. Basketball has never grown by limiting exceptional talent. Instead, lasting growth has always come from recognizing greatness and allowing it to flourish. According to the referee's statements, competitive balance should be created through player development and coaching, not through officiating. The allegations suggest that league officials were concerned about allowing one superstar to dominate the spotlight or one team to become the face of the league. However, sports history shows that extraordinary athletes often become the center of attention. The NBA had Michael Jordan, the NFL had Tom Brady, tennis had Serena Williams, and soccer had Lionel Messi. Generational talent has always played a major role in expanding the popularity of a sport. Critics argue that, instead of embracing Caitlin Clark's rapid rise, league leadership allegedly attempted to distribute attention more evenly. But greatness has never followed a script. Exceptional players naturally change the conversation and reshape the sport around them. What started as frustration among fans and analysts has now developed into a much larger investigation, raising serious questions about the league's future. The referee's testimony has transformed the controversy into a serious investigation. Officials are reportedly examining whether league leadership influenced officiating, whether certain players received different treatment, and whether internal decisions affected competitive balance. The debate has expanded beyond missed calls and now centers on the integrity of the league itself. Questions about leadership, transparency, and fair competition continue to grow as investigators review the allegations. Throughout the controversy, Caitlin Clark has remained focused on basketball, avoiding public accusations and letting her performance speak for itself. Meanwhile, many fans are calling for greater accountability and clearer standards to protect the credibility of the game.